To begin, I have all my pattern pieces laid out here. If you do want to see a detailed video on how I draft my corset patterns, do let me know in the comment section and I'll get to it as soon as I can. So what I'll be doing next is to use these patterns to cut up my fabric and my lining pieces. So for all the bodice plan or all the bodies, I cut out my fabric, ensuring to add half an inch all the way around. Then for my cup, for my bottom cup, the top is extended by half inch while the bottom is extended by 1.5. Then for my top cup, the top is extended by 1.5 and the bottom by half an inch. So what this does is it reduces the tendency of your cup becoming too short. I find that it's always better to have your cup fabric wide enough so you have enough room to trim off the excess than having it too short. So for all my pieces, I cut them out in twos. For the main fabric and the lining fabric, they are all cut in twos. So these are all my plans. So let's get into joining. The first step would be to join the center front seam. So I'm going to take my two center front pieces, ensuring that they are placed right sides facing, and I would sew that center front cut by half an inch, ensuring that I join the two center front pieces by half an inch. And I'll be doing the same thing for the lining. So I'm going to join this by half an inch before attaching the side, and I'll be doing it step by step just so I take you guys along. So these are my center front pieces for the fabric and the lining, and you can see that they are joined. So next I'll be attaching the side front pieces. I would place one piece on the left part and place the other piece on the right part. So you do need to be careful. You want to ensure that the pieces are placed in their right position. So I'm just going to stitch those pieces together with half an inch, and I'm going to do the same thing for the lining as well. Haven't stitched the lining and the main fabric. This is what it looks like, and I'll be attaching the side back piece next, the same way I attach other pieces basically. So the part that goes, one part will be on the left and the other part will be on the right. So you want to ensure that when joining, your pieces are placed right sides facing, just so they are aligned properly and all the fabrics go in their right positions and not missed, and there are no mistakes. Okay, so if once I join that side back, I'll be attaching the center back. So each center back piece would be on the other side. No, this doesn't go here, this would be on the other side. As you can see, that is not meant to be there. So this is the right fit for this part, and this is going to sit here while the other part is going to sit on the other side. So do note that whatever I do on the main fabric, I do on the lining as well. So I'm just going to stitch all those pieces together using half an inch from top to bottom. Once I did that, I did iron it out and relaxed all the seams with my pressing iron. The center front seam is ironed separately. I opened up that center front seam, as you can see. That's because we'll be stop stitching each part separately and not together, while all the other seams are ironed in the direction that they are sewn. So what this means is the seams on the left part are ironed towards the left and the seams on the right part are ironed towards the right. That's because I will stop stitching these pieces or these seams to make casing for the boning later on, and I did the same thing on the lining as well. So I just went ahead to stop stitch all those seams, as you can see. Top stitched, top stitched, stop stitched. Then I'll be inserting the boning into all those casing, or into all those all those casings that we just made. So what I'm going to do is to measure the entire length of each casing from top to bottom. So I'm trying to measure each casing from the top to the bottom like this, and while measuring my boning, whatever the length is, I would reduce my boning by 1.5 inch. So my boning does not go all the way to the top and doesn't go all the way to the bottom. So when I cut out the boning, I round up the tip like this so it doesn't pierce through either side of the fabric. And as you can see, it's short on the bottom, doesn't go all the way to the bottom, and it doesn't go all the way to the top. So you can see that I reduced my boning by 1.5 inch, hence why it doesn't go all the way through. Having inserted all bonings, this is what it looks like. It's already coming to structure, right? Next, I'll be making the bra cups, and I'll be joining the cup pieces along that line by half an inch on either side. Then I went ahead to stop stitch this pink bias onto that part where I joined the seam. Next, I'll be attaching or stitching on the bra cup with the lining, with the fabric rather. Now what I did for the bra cup is to reduce the base by half an inch, and what this does, it gives the cup a lot more roundness and makes the cup rounded. So I fold it wrong side like this at the bottom and sew by half an inch, then turn it right side like this. So when it lays down, you can see it's well rounded and doesn't look flat. So I'll place the fabric, the main fabric, onto the cup, ensuring that it has enough extension at the top and enough extension at the bottom. And I'll stitch all the way around the cup on the edge, not into the form but on the edge of the cup. So I'm just going to stitch all the way around of that cup. Then this is what it looks like. You can see the excess on the top and on the bottom. I'm going to reduce that to half an inch on either side or all the way around. So it's going to be half an inch extension. I'm going to trim off the excess. After trimming off the excess, I'll be attaching the cup to the bodies of the garments, ensuring that those red lines are aligned or placed evenly just so they look alike before sewing down the cup from end to end. You can pin it down to help you out just so you have a better idea, but I'm just going to sew from end to end, ensuring that those lines are aligned, and I'll show you what it looks like once that is done. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. This is what my bra cups looks like. The next step would be to make hoops or holes or loops for the lace. So I'm going to make a strap and stitch them 2 inches apart on either side of the center back, and that would be the passage for the lace strap behind. You could literally punch holes if you find that better, but I'll be using lace straps for this. So you can see that I stitched on each hoop 2 inches apart from the other, and what I did was I would stitch a very long strap and cut it 3 inches. So when I fold into two, I have 1.5 inch on fold. Then I would stitch from top to bottom. So when stitching, you can see that it doesn't go all the way to the bottom and it doesn't go all the way to the top, just so I have enough space and allowance to sew on the lining at the top and at the bottom. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, ensuring that each hole is 2 inches away from the next. Then I would place the lining right sides facing and turn the top part and the bottom part, as well as the side of this garment. So all the seams would be inside the lining and the fabric. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and iron this down, but this is what the corset is looking like at this moment. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, like I said, if you want to see a detailed video on how to draft the pattern, do let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.